My name's Marcus Bonfanti. I'm a musician, play predominantly rhythm and blues music. I got into music at quite an early age. I was about 8 years old at my primary school, and we all got the opportunity to learn an instrument. And that day, the teacher just came in and said, "Look, you all get a music lesson for free. What instrument do you want to play?" And I remember, for some reason, I was always a bit obsessed with the trombone, but I'd been a bit naughty that day at school, so I had to pick last. And the one trombone had gone, so all that was left was a trumpet. So I said, "Well, I'll go and do that." And I had one lesson with this trumpet teacher, and it just opened my mind and just sort of changed my world, really. I just loved making music and playing. And we were only doing simple stuff, so I've only had it in my hand for a couple of minutes. But by the end of 15 minutes, I could play this instrument, and that just sort of started everything off, really. I thought that was what I was going to do with my life till I picked up a guitar at the age of 15, because I got into rock and roll music and wanted to be in a band, and then just basically tried to do that until now. So the first gig I remember playing with my band when we must have been about 16 years old. We were all living in northwest London, and the singer in my band, he was a very confident guy, exactly the sort of person you want as your lead singer. And he came to rehearsals one day. I think we'd only had about 2 rehearsals, and he said, "I've got us a gig at the Bull and Gate pub in Kentish Town," which was like a pretty cool place to play music. A lot of our favourite bands had kind of gone through there, and it also meant, back in them days, this is the late 90s, that you got your gig listing in the back of the NME magazine, which meant that you're going to see your band's name at the back of the NME, which was like the best thing we could imagine. So Alex said, "But I've told them that we're from Bristol," because they'd never heard of us. So I said, "Okay, yeah, well, you haven't heard of us because we're from Bristol." So, but they gave us a Sunday night, and we rocked up there, and we were a bit underprepared. We didn't have a drum kit, so we borrowed sort of 3 different bits of drum kits from different mates of ours, tried to put it all together, didn't realise that you could adjust all the things to make everything fit. So we ended up sellotaping everything together because we didn't know what we were doing. I think the kit lasted about 3 songs before it fell apart. Lead singer was so nervous, he got really drunk and forgot all the words to the songs. But I remember after that gig just thinking, oh my God, that was amazing. We had like 20 people come see us, and it just felt incredible. And I just felt like I've had to chase that feeling ever since.
I was about to say, there's a little joke among blues musicians, but that also sounds like the lamest thing anyone's ever said. But we're always trying to work out who did the original version of songs, and a lot of these songs are folk music, so no one really knows who did the original version. So usually you sort of win the argument by just saying, "Oh, it's a Woody Guthrie tune," and no one can really get back much further than him. So I think this is a Woody Guthrie tune, but I believe it even predates him. It's The Sad Old Tale of Old Bill.
So in between songs, sometimes I'll try and give a little insight into because I play a lot of old rhythm and blues music. I like to try and give a little insight into these fantastic musicians that wrote this music. A lot of the audience might have heard of them, some of them might not have, and I always joke, I try not to make it like a blues lecture, but I do think it's important to know about these musicians and the music that I'm playing. I've got a deep love for this music, and I want other people to have that too. So a lot of the time I don't plan it. I think now, because I've been doing it for so long, I can sort of rely on what pops into my head. But I remember when I first started out and I had a band, I had a bass player and a drummer, and people used to say that sometimes when I'd start talking in between songs, you could see their sort of eyebrows raising, thinking, "What's he doing? Where's he going with this? Where's he going with this?" So I think I've definitely refined it. But then a lot of my favourite musicians did this. I remember when I was younger, I had a record by Tom Waits called Nighthawks at the Diner. Tom Waits is one of my favourite musicians, and in between songs, he just tells these fantastic stories, and he's such an amazing raconteur anyway. It sort of obviously comes naturally to him. And another record that was a big influence on me for a lot of reasons, but a lot to do with the talking in between songs, was the Bill Withers record live from Carnegie Hall, where again he just tells these wonderful stories in between songs. And I think I really learnt the value of picking the right moment to do it, and sort of like just studying these people and going, well, that's amazing. And it wasn't too long, wasn't too short. Maybe it made the audience laugh a little bit before you play something maybe slightly intense. So I think I've definitely, I wouldn't say it came naturally, but it's definitely something I've thought about and tried to make it so I know what I'm doing, but I don't want to feel like I know what I'm doing. I still like there to be an improvisational element to it.
Nice.
So tonight I'm going to be playing my 4th show at the Country Café. They've only been open a year, so it's been really lovely to have been asked to play here 4 times. I'm maybe cheating a little bit because my third time was last night, so I'm doing 2 nights here this time. But the first I heard about it is I play at a venue down in London called the Green Note, which is a wonderful venue. I've been playing there for years. I play there once a month in the basement doing a rhythm and blues night by myself. And I became friends with the guy who come down to see me a few times from Ingatestone, a guy named James. And yeah, we'd chat after gigs and exchange messages. We're both into sort of similar music. And one day he told me about this place. He's friends with Matt. He said his friend was opening up a venue in Ingatestone, and would I be interested in coming to play? So obviously I agreed, and I had no idea what I was going to see when I got up here. And actually, when I walked from the train station up here and I got to what looked to be a hardware store, I instantly fell in love with the place. I just thought, oh God, I hope this is a hardware store. And it kind of pretty much was the first time I played here. It was wonderful, and they've made it into a great little venue. And then since then, every time I've come back, Matt and Sarah worked so hard on it to improve it every time and improve it every time. And now it's just wonderful. And I genuinely do love playing here. It's a really lovely listening room, but also people can have a good time as well. It doesn't feel like subdued or a difficult room to play in. The sound in the room is fantastic. And yeah, every time I leave this place, I leave feeling a lot better than when I arrived. And I think that's always a good sign. And I'm going to play a song by Blind Boy Fuller called The Rag Mama Rag. Well, I'm walking downtown, head in my hands, looking for a woman, ain't got no man. Might as well be looking for a needle in the sand. Looking for a woman, ain't got no man. Said, rag, mama. Oh, rag, mama. Oh, rag, honey, do that rag. Gonna get me one woman, better get you 2. One for me and my buddy, too. Got me a wife and a sweetheart, too. If my wife don't love me, then my sweetheart do. Said, rag, mama. Oh, rag, mama. Oh, rag, honey, do that rag. And I never thought my woman treat me so. Love a man standing in my back door. Oh, boy, don't you know you gonna reap just what you sow. Said rag, mama. Oh, rag, mama. Oh, rag, honey, do that rag. I do that rag. And I'm walking downtown, pistol in my hand, holding a hand, I'm gonna get that man. Oh boy, don't you know I'm gonna get that so-and-so. Said rag, mama. Oh, rag, mama. Oh, rag, honey, do that rag. I said that rag, mama. Oh, rag, mama. Oh, rag, honey, do that rag.